everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we're going to study the challenges of nation building as a chapter. And I know all of your boards are coming up and you need a quick recap. And this is the video that I have brought up, and this video is going to help you severely before your exams. And I want you to listen to it carefully because this will be the complete gist of the chapter and everything. And if you listen to it, there would nobody stopping you to get 100 in your exams. So this is a quick recap and quick understanding of the chapter. Please listen to everything what I'm saying carefully and properly so that whenever you are listening and you're studying, you know what I'm going through. This is the guidebook and this is the main book. So let's study and let's go on, because I'm also giving my best and I want to help anybody who is going through with me. So firstly, let's understand the challenges of nation building. So firstly, we have to understand there are two goals when the independent India was made. There was a lot of challenges. This chapter is coming for 6 marks for your boards, okay? Remember that this chapter is coming for 6 marks. There's high probability that this chapter might come in a 6-mark question with asking what were the 3 challenges of the nation building. I'm teaching you guys this chapter very strategically because not much days are left, and we will study so strategically that we don't study extra, but we don't also study less for this chapter. We will study what is important, what is not important. What is not important, we could look into that later on. But what is important in this chapter, we will look into that particularly. So first, let's know the first 2 goals of the nations that was India made. The first goal, which was set up, that India should be made as a democratic government under and after independence, and second, that India should work for the good of all and particularly focusing on the poor and socially disadvantaged groups. So okay, let's understand this properly. First, India was under the British government, and India was, what was it fighting for? Freedom. India was fighting for freedom, so it was inevitable that the Indian government wanted democracy. So first one, really important. What is the first one? That India wants a democratic government after independence. That was the first goal. What is the second goal? The second goal was that India will work for the welfare of all and the good of all, but focus on the disadvantaged and poor groups, because 50% of the India's population was stricken by poverty. So focusing on the poor and the poverty stricken area was the key focus of Indian new government. Understood? Clear? That's it. Independent India had 3 challenges. This question has came up in so many times in the past question papers, past sample question papers. This is the thing that you shouldn't miss at all. This was the 3 challenges that India had in the nation building, okay? First was accommodation in unity. What is accommodation and unity? Is that people of India were from various cultures and various different groups, and they didn't have a sense of collectivity in them, because they used to identify themselves from a particular state. They will say, I'm Madrasi, I'm from Rajasthan, I'm from this state, I'm from this state, I belong from this community. So there was not a feeling of Indian, a feeling of like collectiveness in the people. The first one is to build a unity among people, the feeling of collectiveness, to feeling of like to involve everyone, to include everyone in the place. And then second, definitely the 2 goals. See, the 2 goals that we studied beforehand, these will also come as the challenges, the second 2 challenges. The first challenge, if you know the 2 goals, you could write it last 2 challenges also. The first challenge is only accommodation and unity, because a feeling of collectivity, because India is a country with a huge diversity and a huge size. So that's why to collect everyone and to bring everyone, it required this. And second is to establish democracy. That was the second challenge. The third challenge, development and well-being of society, focusing on the poor and the disadvantaged groups. 3 challenges done. Remember this. Go through your books. Read this thing properly. These are the 3 challenges. This is the question which will come in the exams. It has a 90% chance to coming in the exams. So there was, after independence, you know, right, independence happened in the very midst of the time, in the very time where everybody was struggling so much. So there was a time called partition who led to displacement and like a lot of rehabilitations of people. So the process of partition got through a lot of struggles. The first was that there was no single territory of the Muslim majority. So because if you look into the India's map, it had Pakistan and Bangladesh. Bangladesh was known as the East Pakistan. And each area, even Pakistan, had people of Hindu living, and there was no single community living in one place. So it was very hard to decide which place will go to which country. So there, because there was no single Muslim majority in India. Okay, and second, that not all Muslims wanted to go to Pakistan. They, okay, this is important, guys. Name the name. Yeah, this is the name. Frontier Gandhi. Okay, Khan Ghaffar Abdul Khan. He was a leader of the area of a small area of Pakistan. It's on the near the Kashmir area, so it's on the belt, but there's a small bit of land in between. This area was, he was the leader of the North Frontier Zone, and he wanted to give Pakistan. He didn't want to go with Pakistan. He wanted to join India, but he had to join Pakistan, and he didn't want to go to Pakistan. Some leaders didn't have any options on most of the time. And the third is that problems due to partition of Punjab and Bengal. Punjab and Bengal faced a huge problem. There was mass killing, there was a mass struggle, and many communal zones were set up. These were all the problems. And problems of minorities on both sides. People were displaced from both the sides. The process of partition was a heinous process, and many people died during this process. And next, we would have to study about Mahatma Gandhi's sacrifice when he didn't go to, like, when the flag hosting was going on, and like how people were suffering, and different things were happening. Now, Nehru's approach to nation building. This is important to know, guys. What did Nehru do for the nation building process? Okay, the State Reorganization Committee, which was set up in 1953, had full regional aspirations. It had to be, it took up, like, they were very different. If you look into the book, there's some maps giving in your book, okay? So just look into the states. How did the states look so different from the states? It's in your page number 20 of my book. So if you look into this map, it doesn't look anything like today's India. The state I belong from, Assam, it is broken down into so many smaller states, and it was so huge beforehand. So there was a feeling of regionalism. He gave the State Reorganization Committee, we will decide the regional aspirations of the people and give them states according to their demands and their needs. That's clear. State Reorganization Committee. And then we have the instrument of accession. Okay, so British, when left India, they kept India in a very big hassle. They left India with a very big question in people's mind, which land will go to which place. So the first was instrument of accession. So instrument of accession was given to the princely states. For like the British, when left India, they said that they could either join Pakistan or either join India or stay as independent. And that's the catch. So Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel was given the responsibility to give, unite and bring all the countries, all the princely states to sign and to bring them to India. This is state of Junagadh. Junagadh is in current day Rajasthan. So the most of the people staying out there were Hindus, but the Nizam, or the head of the Raja, was Muslim. So he decided that he wanted to go Pakistan. However, a voting was conducted, and the people of Junagadh decided that they would like luck to stay in India, and they decided to stay in India. That was the first. Second state was Bhopal. Bhopal disagreed to join to India and declared itself independent. Hyderabad did the same. So then what did Bhopal do? They were decided that they will given privy purse. Privy purse is a maintenance given to the kingdoms for uniting into India. So they were given privy purse, and Hyderabad's king Nizam, he was the richest man back then. He declared himself independence, and there was mass atrocities done in Hyderabad, and then it was the largest princely state. Hyderabad was the largest princely state, and then Indian army was sent to Hyderabad, and Hyderabad was set free. This was for Hyderabad, and unity and diversity is like what it wanted to bring. And Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel played a huge role in integrating India, and like it had played significant roles in it. And there in your books, government's approach is given, accession of Manipur given, Kashmir issue is given. Everything is written in a very proper way. The only thing is to do is to read your book properly. See, in this video, I want to give you proper tips. I want to give you which one is important, because you don't have much days left, and I want you to do strategic studies, smart work rather than hard work. And then we have, so what we do like to study in this chapter properly: challenges, accommodations. The two goals, the challenges, know about the partition problem, what happened in partition. These are the various problems, these has happened. And then you have to study the consequences. Now then you have the Nehru's approach. What this Nehru's approach? Look into the instrument of accession, into unity and diversity, bring up unity in among people. How did Vallabhbhai Patel's role change the countries? These are the things. Please listen to me carefully. How did the integration of princely states take up? The instrument of accession, which was signed by people. Accession of Hyderabad standstill agreement was done. What was standstill agreement? That he signed the agreement of to join in India in November 1947. After the and there was Razakars. Razakars are the people who murdered the this people who were staying in Hyderabad, and it's a very derogatory term, the Razakars. And this whole thing is written now. The accession of Manipur. So the accession of Manipur was done by Bodhi Chandra. Okay, so the first election, free and fair election in India, was done in Manipur. Just remember that, okay, properly. And in June 1948, it was pressure of common people that it should integrate into India, and there was a mergers agreement in 1949 done. And in a small part, let me give you a gist, and Manipur was forcefully integrated in India. So that's why there's a lot of hatred among people to join India, and there were still people are very much, the people didn't wanted to join India, but they were forcefully added into the country. And the country has its own parliament, everything. It had its own everything. Then we have the Kashmir issue. Okay, Kashmir is a very interesting part. This is my own favorite. Kashmir. If you look into Kashmir, you will know that Kashmir was a Muslim dominated area, but its king was a Hindu person. His name was Hari Singh. Remember this name, Hari Singh. So this individual wanted to make Pakistan, the land of the Kashmiris. They didn't want to join either Pakistan or India. So what did Pakistan do? It did a militant attack on Kashmir to get Kashmir. And then Hari Singh went to Indian government and asked for militancy support. Jawaharlal Nehru asked to, he will give them military support only if he signed the instrument of accession. And he signed the instrument of accession on October 1947, and on January 1949 a ceasefire was done by the WHO, which and they draw WHO, World Bank. So in the UN the ceasefire was done. The UN interfered, and they draw the land of control, which land will go to Pakistan and which. So if you look into the Kashmir map right now, it's very haphazard. It's not the correct map of India. Some part of this is with Pakistan, some part is with China, and some part is with India. So ceasefire was done, and in 1971 some part of Ladakh was taken by China due to the Indo-Pakistan war in 1971. And the Kashmir Valley is a very sensitive point for the country. And then the reorganization of states was done. What was the reorganization of states? Linguistic on her. So firstly, dividing India on the basis of language was a very controversial thing. They thought that if we divide India on the basis of language, it will create a lot of hindrance among people, that people won't be able to connect, and we wanted to bring unity. So why will divide people on the basis of language? However, states were formed on the division. The first state which was formed, it was Maharashtra, was separated and formed Gujarat. So these were the states we were forming. There were several movements such as Visalandhara movements. Remember, it happened in Andhra Pradesh. Was occurring, and they were majorly Telugu speaking areas should be separated from the Madras province. Of course, you want your but after that, people understood that states which were separated through linguistic basis was necessary, because these people wanted their culture, their values to also come out to get proper recognitions as a state. And then you have state reorganization commission, which were state up. Creation of new states is also written. Gujarat and Maharashtra was created. Punjab, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh was created. So you have to remember that when was Punjab, Haryana, and Maharashtra created? Okay, Punjab and Haryana were granted other states in 1956, and 1966 when the territories today's Haryana and Himachal Pradesh were separated from the state. So from the 1956 the demand started for a new state, and from 1966 they were separated. Himachal Pradesh firstly became a union territory, remember that, and in 1971 it was given a statehood. And then you have northeastern regions. In northeast in 1972 Meghalaya was carved out of Assam. I remember when I was young, the Assam part was including not my grandparents used to say me these stories that the Assam was really big. It had Meghalaya, and Shillong was its capital. So and it was a huge part, but it was carved out in 1972. And then Chhattisgarh, Uttarakhand, and Jharkhand were separate out of UP. So these are the informations that you have to take into considerations while studying this chapter. So yes, this chapter is done and dusted. This is a very easy chapter, very easy, and go through this chapter properly. And this is a quick recap for you to watch whenever you are preparing for this chapter. And yes, don't skip this video right now, because I would say you how you go through this chapter, okay, properly. So what you go first, 2 goals. Remember the 2 goals, then the 3 challenges, then you go to partition may you say you get to know the stories or what is happening, partitions of both the areas, people displacement, rapes, write down everything, and communal zones formed. And then come to how did Mahatma Gandhi's effect on partition was there, write about his sorrow, know about his sorrow. And then you have Nehru's approach to national nation building. What was Nehru's approach, and what was it then Sardar Vallabhbhai's role in integrating India, reintegration of princely states, then accession of Hyderabad, there were 3 accessions: Hyderabad, Manipur, and then you had Kashmir issue. Then you have reorganizations of states. You had the Visalandhara movements. Okay, this was the only movement which is written in your book. Please know this movement, Visalandhara movement. And then then the state reorganization commissions, the states formed: Maharashtra and Gujarat, Haryana, Punjab, Himachal Pradesh, northeast states, and then you have Chhattisgarh, Uttarakhand, and Jharkhand. That's it. Easy chapter. This is the whole summary. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And love you guys. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you so much.